on this pursuit here, despite the vehicle now going less than 15 miles per hour in a residential area. We still do not see a lot of traffic. We don't see much pedestrian traffic or any vehicle traffic out there. Roger. News Chopper 4, the first on the scene, bringing you this pursuit here in San Bernardino. We're about 15 miles per hour here for News Chopper 4. This pursuit's been going on for approximately an hour right now here in San Bernardino. No reports of any accidents. No reports of any injuries is related to this pursuit right now. Officers are just taking their time, and San Bernardino officers did a great job deploying that spike strip. They tried 2 times first and it was unsuccessful. The 3rd time they laid the spike strip in the middle of the road and they parked their police vehicles around it, so the suspect had only one way to go, and that was through the spike strip. Okay, so basically we're getting a little more information. San Bernardino police know who the driver is. We won't release his name, but basically he is in contact with a female friend, and he has basically said he does not want to pull over because he has some type of narcotics in the vehicle. So he's already made it clear to his friend that he does not want to pull over. Officers know the identity of this suspect. Officers are indicating that this vehicle possibly belongs to a friend. Possibly belongs to a friend of his. And you can see he's starting to pick up a little more speed on the spike strip. Again, according to a friend of this person's, officers are in communications with her. He basically said he does not want to pull over because alleged narcotics in the vehicle. And you can see the suspect is smoking there. It appears he's smoking a pipe or something, making a left turn, westbound 18th. You see how difficult that turn is actually with the vehicle on the rims. It gets a little more difficult here. We're in a residential street here, westbound 18th Street from Sierra Way. Westbound 18th Street from Sierra Way here in San Bernardino. They are basically trying to call the driver right now. We saw that driver with a cell phone in his right hand. Officers are trying to attempt to make contact with this driver. They're approaching Mountain View, westbound 18th Street. We're going to reposition News Chopper 4 here in a little second here. So basically we're going to have to turn around. He's crossing over, I think that might be Mountain View. We're still not exactly sure yet. We're basically repositioning the helicopter. We're heading toward the 215. Again, this is westbound 18th Street in San Bernardino. You still have eyes on it, Aldo? About 10 miles per hour. 10 miles per hour according to traffic. News Chopper 4 pilot Aldo is keeping us right on top of this pursuit, doing a great job. And one thing you will notice, there is no air unit. Usually there's a police helicopter on pursuits. We haven't seen that right now. San Bernardino Police, San Bernardino County Sheriff's, no police helicopter. I'm listening to more information. They're saying the driver possibly on parole, which may give us an indication why this person is not wanting to stop. But again, officers know who the driver is. Basically, they're trying to establish contact. We're westbound 18th Street, just crossing over Arrowhead. Basically, this driver has already spoken to a friend via the telephone, and he said that he does not want to pull over. Did you hear that one, Aldo? Yep. So basically we're at David Street. D is in David, westbound 18th. Okay, so now officers are getting more information. Once officers know who the person is, they can basically run the information, and that's what they're doing. So we're going to be limited on what we release. But again, if they know the identity of this driver, they're running his records right now to see, okay, when was this person arrested last time? That was just last week. And basically, was this person known to carry a weapon? And we're hearing reports that this person, last time they were arrested, this person did have a weapon. So these are all elements that officers on the ground need to know. Officers are working closely with dispatch. They're working together. Dispatch is running all this information so they can relay it to the ground units. So these officers have some type of indication. Last week, this person was arrested. A weapon was found on the subject. So now they know they need to be extra careful. Possibly this person could have a weapon. We're not speculating, but again, they're just going by what happened last week. Again, this suspect, officers know who it is right now, and basically they're trying to actually call this person, and now they're advising officers don't get too close to the vehicle. He may have a gun. They're not saying that he does, but since this person was arrested just a week ago with a narcotics, allegedly had narcotics and a weapon, officers are being a little more careful on this. And again, that's why this person said he's not pulling over. He's already talked to one of his friends. A friend called the police department, said, I know who this guy is, this is who it is, and he's not pulling over because he basically doesn't want to go back to jail, and he has narcotics in his vehicle. So it can make this situation a little more dangerous as perhaps a person becomes a little more desperate in that situation. The vehicle really not able to travel at too much a high rate of speed. You can see that left rear tire is just pretty much almost on rims. We're going in the south direction right now. We're still in the vicinity of San Bernardino International Airport. Officers are still trying to call the driver of the vehicle, and he is not answering his phone. He's refusing to pick up the phone for officers. And you can see that McDonald's there. We passed this same area here before, so we're in the same area. We're staying in the vicinity. Basically, we're just west, or correction, we're just east of the 215 and south of the 210. We're south on E Street, coming up on 15th. Southbound E Street, about 15 miles per hour. We're coming up to a stop. And when this vehicle comes to a stop, it's going to be harder for him to get that vehicle moving again because of that tire. Let me show you what's happening right now. It looks like he's just kind of smoking a cigarette or something. I'm going to show you that rim right there. Basically, that car is just pretty much on its rim. They're setting up on felony T-stop. So let me show you what these officers are doing here. We've got officers on the front and the back. His hands are up right now. Because his hands are out, I'm going to pull in right now because it seems a little safe right now that I'm not worried the guy's going to make any unusual move. You're watching this live here on the NBC4 app. This is southbound E Street in the vicinity of 10th. Southbound E, the vicinity of 10th. Officers are issuing commands, open that door from the outside. They want to see the hands. Basically, they want to see them reach and open that door from the outside. He's getting his last puffs of his cigarette or whatever he's smoking. Hands are out right now. He knows the game is up. Basically, he's just complying. Officers may have him lift his shirt up and basically turn around so they can see whether or not he has any weapons in his waistband. They are issuing those commands. He threw his cigarette out, hands are up. Basically, he knows the game is up. Fortunately, nobody was injured. You can see he's slowly backing up towards officers. There's the K9 unit to the top right of your screen. If he decides to run, that is the resource they're going to use to apprehend the suspect. But he's just basically, he knows the game. He's been around the block. His hands are behind his back. He's basically going to just wait for officers to approach. They may have him interlock his feet. Here goes a female officer. She was the one who deployed the spike strip a couple of times. She's putting those handcuffs on him. And basically they're waiting to clear the vehicle, but they believe nobody else is in that vehicle. Guns are still drawn onto that vehicle until they can clear it. They want to make sure nobody's in that trunk. They're going to check the trunk, try to pop it, and make sure that nobody is inside the trunk. That's just protocol. There we go. Situation is under control. Code 4, suspect in custody. Long pursuit here in San Bernardino. This pursuit lasted well over an hour. An alleged narcotic suspect. This is southbound East Street in the vicinity of 9th, where it finally ended here.